Hello friends, the holiday season is upon us and it is time to consider gift giving. You may be new to this channel and have come upon this video because you have a photographer in your life. Or you're a regular viewer and a photographer who may want to send a link of this video to give a not so subtle clue to your loved ones. Either way, welcome. We reached out to a few companies that we've worked with in the past and we wanted to have on this list. And most of them said yes, they wanted to take part. So this video is sponsored by several companies. I would like to thank KEH, Cotton, Inergy, Lowepro, Manfrotto, Aura, and Sigma for sponsoring portions of this video. I am so excited to share items from each company that would be amazing gifts for any photographer. Or gifts for yourself if you are a photographer. And for everything that I mentioned in this video, I will add links to them in the description so that you can hop right over there and get your shopping done. Let's get started. The first gift idea is used photography gear from KEH. KEH has been buying and selling used photography gear since 1979. They have such a wide variety of used gear to purchase that you can find something for every photographer. Vintage, super modern, somewhere in between. I personally am hoping to see this Nikon 35mm AIS f-mount lens under the tree this year. It is a manual focus beauty that feels good in the hand and it produces images with that unforgettable vintage look to them. An amazing vintage lens could be just what your photographer wants. You do have to make sure that you are purchasing a lens that will work on the particular camera that the photographer has. Not every lens works on every camera. Or what about a film camera? Film has made a resurgence in recent years, and a lot of folks are rediscovering the challenges and the rewards of film. Or if you know that your photographer has been pining for a particular camera body or lens, even if it's pretty new, search KEH for it. You may find an almost new item at a discount. And if you don't know where to begin with specific cameras or lenses, never fear. I have another idea for you. You know what every photographer could make use of? A gift card. KEH recently started offering them, and it is a wonderful gift in a tiny package because the recipient can pick out their favorite item. It saves you on the guesswork and they get to do some shopping. I don't know of any photography lover who wouldn't be so excited to get a KEH gift card this season. These are e-gift cards, so you can send them via email directly to the recipient, or when I purchase an e-gift card to anywhere, I generally like to print it out, write a nice note on it to make it a little more personal, and then put it in a pretty envelope. Or hey, a regular envelope that I've decorated. It's the thought that counts, right? Of course, links to the gift card and to KEH are in the description. Next up is a way to carry a camera, or more than one camera. I've used Cotton's camera carrying systems for quite some time. Sometimes using a regular camera strap doesn't work well. Maybe you have a big telephoto lens on your camera, or maybe you're moving around and the camera hanging from the strap just gets in your way. Or you're carrying more than one camera. Cotton offers several types of carriers, but today we are going to talk about the G3 Gray harness. Using this for the first time was astounding to me because I was able to carry a camera with a big telephoto lens on it so much more comfortably than any other method I've tried. I can now even hike like you see here, swing my arms around and quickly take the camera off the harness when I see wildlife. It's amazing. Cotton just sent me this though. It's an add-on so that I can add a second camera to the waistband of the harness or to a belt. Or Cotton even has an option for carrying binoculars in either slot, the chest or the waist. I have mine set up for a camera on the chest and a camera on my hip. This is a phenomenal setup for me because I can have my telephoto rig up here on the chest mount and then a smaller, wider angle setup on my hip. For me, that is going to mean often the camera that I'm using for video, capturing me talking to the camera or for B-roll, but you could do binoculars on your chest and a camera on your hip, a camera on your chest and binoculars on your hip. I don't have a good pair of binoculars, but I really want one. I just don't want to spend a ton of money on them. So let me know if you have some that you like, but that aren't super pricey. I would absolutely bring my telephoto rig on my chest and my binoculars on my hip. That way I could use them for like checking around without having to lift up my heavy camera setup. The camera being on my chest like this really makes it so much more comfortable to wear. In case you're new here, I have had a couple of back surgeries this year, and I've had to completely rethink how I work. So if you know a photographer that has some back issues and struggles to carry their camera around for long periods of time, whether it's a big telephoto setup or not, absolutely take a look at this harness or even the other options that I will link in the description for cotton. The next item on our list is excellent for photographers, but really this could be good for nearly anybody. I've been using Inergy solar generators for many years. Most recently, I've been using the Flex 1500. Raymond and I take it camping, to photo and video shoots in the field when we need to power lighting, and we use it anytime we need extra power. These are popular for folks who simply need emergency power in the case of natural disasters or simple power outages. The Flex 1500 is a big battery. There are a number of ways to power it up. The solar panels are my personal favorite. You have a bunch of ports on here. You can see the 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C, and 6 AC outlets. You also have 2 cigarette lighter ports and 2 outputs for Inergy's Basecamp LEDs, which are perfect for camp lighting. Raymond and I use this to charge up all of our electronics, our cameras and our drones, and we also power our camp kitchen with it. We've used it to power a little Keurig coffee maker and our hot plate. This thing's really powerful. And you can use all of the power and charge it back up with the sun. One of the most important things about this system is that it is scalable. You can see that I have 1 flex battery attached, but you can actually add up to 96 flex batteries to one of the Flex 1500 power consoles. Yeah, you heard me correctly, 96. I didn't do the math to see exactly how much power that would be, but I imagine that you could live off grid for quite some time without having to recharge. Inergy does have other options. Most recently, they introduced the Flex Tactical 1500, which is now available for pre-order. I thought the Flex 1500 was rugged, but this guy is next level. It's the same idea, but designed for heavy-duty use in extreme environments. There is an integrated battery heater so that it can be used in sub-zero temperatures without reduced performance. Looking at it, I can see that they've made everything more durable, from the steel housing to the reinforced latches that hold the batteries to the power station. It's an impressive beast. I will link to Inergy's site in the description where you can find out all of the details, the specifications, the different packages Inergy offers. You can purchase these power stations alone or in kits with solar panels and those Basecamp LEDs that I mentioned too. Next up is a good camera backpack. I've heard this time and again, so I know it's not just me. You can never have too many camera bags. So I offer you the LowPro Pro Trekker BP350 AW2. This thing carries a ton of stuff and it is super sturdy. I've carried LowPro backpacks for over a decade and every one has gotten a ton of use because LowPro gets it. They make their purpose-built packs in many different sizes with different options so that you can get the exact bag you need. For example, if you know a photographer who is in need of a bag that holds a lot of photography gear, including large lenses, plus a laptop up to 15 inches, while still being comfortable to carry, this is a good option. This backpack was designed for the outdoors, but it is absolutely good looking enough to carry anywhere. I've found that the materials that LowPro uses are also really easy to clean. So you can basically wipe the dust off after a hike and head out into the city or out to photograph a wedding with this bag. Of course, this bag is linked in the description. Another accessory your favorite photographer may love is a new tripod. I have here a classic brand, Manfrotto, and their Be-Free GT X Pro aluminum tripod. The Manfrotto Be-Free tripods have been around, getting improved upon for many years. These are a tried and true staple for many photographers. This particular model has a ton of flexibility because it was designed for professional macro photographers. That means that while you can use it like a normal tripod, you can also use it for straight down shots, or straight up shots for that matter. One thing I really like about this tripod is the ball head. It is easy to use with one knob for the panning adjustment and one to adjust the ball head. Plus, there's a tension adjustment for that one. It's just an extremely well thought out tripod, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. It's a safe bet that any photographer would appreciate this tripod, so it's linked in the description. You've seen me talk about this next item a few times as being a good gift, a digital frame to show off photos. I have the Aura Carver Mat digital frame. This would be perfect for someone who loves taking photos, but also so good for anyone, friends, parents. Our photos are often locked up on our computers or our phones, and a digital frame allows us to actually enjoy the photos without the commitment of printing. But why the Aura frame in particular? I have set up a number of digital frames over the years, and this one is simply the easiest to set up and to add photos to. Plus, it looks great. I have mine in my office, and I do add photos to it often. There's an app where you can quickly select photos for upload to the frame. As we are talking about gifts today, though, I'll show you how you can set up this digital frame for your loved one to give to them as a gift. That way, they don't have to set it up on their own. I'm giving this one to my best friend in the whole world. She does like photography, but she just really likes photos, and I know she'll love being able to see her photos captured with her camera or her phone, scrolling through on this frame. And actually, you can provide access to other people so that they can add photos to the frame. Like, you can add photos to your parents' frame across the country. For my friend, her fiance will be able to add photos to it. And if she wants me to, I'll be able to. I mean, that's just what everyone wants, right? Me spamming your digital frame with random photos of my random adventures. Maybe I won't actually request access so that I'm not tempted to do that. Anyway, my point here was going to be that my bestie, while incredibly smart, isn't super tech savvy, so she'll be really glad that I set this up for her ahead of time. It's not difficult, but I feel better knowing that even though I'm giving a tech gift, I'm not signing up the recipient to any amount of time figuring out how to set it up. And guess what? It's linked in the description. The next item on our gift guide is from Sigma. We're talking about the 50mm f1.4 DGDN art lens. Now, the original version of this lens was the first Sigma art lens that I ever used, and Raymond and I were in love with it. It was one of the first, if not the first of its kind, a high-end, super high-quality lens in terms of image quality and build quality from an independent lens manufacturer for less money than similar lenses by big camera brands. This changed the game for a lot of photographers. It provided access to these incredible lenses, which they could not otherwise have been able to afford. And Sigma has only improved and expanded the art line since then. We own several in the art line in a couple of different lens mounts. That's one of the great things about Sigma. They do make lenses in multiple lens mounts. This 50mm f1.4 DGDN art lens is offered in L mount and E mount. I have the L mount version, and I chose to try it on the Leica SL2. Unsurprisingly, it is a match made in photography heaven. The way the art lens renders the contrast and the light, the out of focus areas, is a perfect counterpart for the way the Leica camera handles the characteristics like color and contrast. And I can and do also use these art lenses on other L mount bodies like our Lumix S5 and S5 II. And I achieve some of those same characteristics. That technical excellence combined with the beautiful image qualities. Like I said, we own a few art lenses. Most recently, we purchased the 14mm f1.4 DGDN art lens in L mount, which we use primarily for astrophotography with those Lumix cameras, where we're looking for a crisp image with edge-to-edge sharpness. But back to this 50mm, if you are looking for a gift for a photographer, a top-of-the-line 50mm prime lens would be an amazing gift. It's linked in the description in both E and L mounts. I'm not done talking about Sigma yet. The last option I have for you on our list today is another lens. I said that Sigma's art line is top of the line, and it is, but Sigma has a line of prime lenses in their less expensive contemporary line that also offer premium optics, but at sometimes slightly narrower apertures and in much more compact sizes. Raymond and I do own a number of contemporary lenses because they're more compact, but still offer stellar image quality. I have here the 23mm f1.4 DC-DN contemporary lens. This prime lens is designed specifically for APS-C camera bodies for a number of mounts, currently X, L, and E. Yes, an f1.4 prime lens specifically for APS-C. That's pretty unusual. Sigma has set the bar with lenses like this one. We're using the 23mm on our full frame Leica SL2 right now in APS-C mode. The SL2 still has plenty of megapixels, and using 23mm on APS-C provides you with an effective field of view of 35mm, which is classic. We've also used several other of Sigma's APS-C f1.4 contemporary prime lenses in Z mount on our Nikon Z bodies. I can't tell you how happy I was using the compact f1.4 prime lenses on my compact Nikon Z30. Match made in photography heaven again. And they're so budget friendly. I own a number of Sigma lenses in different lens mounts in each of their categories, art, contemporary, and sports. I've used many more, and I'm in, obviously. You don't get to own that many lenses because you think, oh, well, meh, they're fine. No, the Sigma art lenses are amazing, but these contemporary prime lenses are the lenses that Raymond and I will pick up time and again, no matter the circumstance, because they are so compact and still provide that superb image quality that we want. Of course, I will link to this 23mm and some other contemporary lenses in the description. I hope this list was helpful. Like I said earlier, everything I mentioned today you will find links for in the description of this video. They are typically affiliate links, so thank you for using those links because they help keep this channel running. And speaking of which, thank you again to today's sponsors, KEH, Cotton, Inergy, Lowepro, Manfrotto, Aura, and Sigma for agreeing to be a part of this gift guide. Before you go, I want to hear from you though. If you are a photographer, what's on your wish list? And for you folks out there shopping for a photographer and you might need a little more help, comment below. I will keep an eye on these comments for a bit, but if I don't have an answer or I don't see your comment, I will bet someone else in the community will and can reply. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, and thank you for watching.